everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo and this is my forever co-host Jum. Today we're ending our Brendan Fraser week with Looney Tunes Back in Action, the classic Brendan Fraser movie that not a lot of people talk about anymore, and I don't know why.
Yeah. Man, this has so much core memories in my childhood.
Yeah.
Where this is my first ever Brendan Fraser movie. Oh, no, it's not. George of the Jungle was. Then this one was the second, and then it was The Mummy.
Yeah.
I take here, I like Looney Tunes more than Disney.
Yeah, I've always preferred Looney Tunes more than Disney because Looney Tunes always had an edge to the Disney characters.
Yeah.
And you definitely see it here.
Sadly, they couldn't keep that momentum up as of recent. So yeah, don't put me down and be like, oh, right now Looney Tunes is not that great. Yes, I know, but back in the day, they were the goats of cartoons, and I would say was better than the House of Mouse and whatever Disney was trying to pump out.
Did you ever see the TikTok of like, you really know what your childhood was like if you watch these channels preferably, and it's like Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and like
Cartoon Network.
Yeah, and like if you watch Cartoon Network, you were there for like really good stories, really cutting edge cartoons. Nickelodeon, you were there for like what? SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. It's just the turn your brain off kind of shows.
And then Disney is like, oh, you know what you're getting with Disney. Not to rag on Disney, but like they had like good content in the late 90s and early 2000s. And they still do, but like nothing can really beat Looney Tunes and Cartoon Network because that combo was a killer. Especially with like, you remember the what was it? Looney Tunes in space, but they were like more emo and hardcore. Like there's magic.
No, it wasn't Looney Tunes in space. It was like cyberpunk-esque, and like my favorite one there was Roadrunner.
Yeah, but it was like them more emo.
Yeah. I remember. They were more sharper. They were anime styled. Yeah. Sorry, not Roadrunner. Wile E. Coyote. His character there was really cool because he was the tech guy.
Yeah, but going to this movie for a bit, like I only feel like there's not much plot to it really. Like Brendan Fraser discovers that, oh, my dad's a spy, and I have to retrieve this blue gem that turns people
monkey.
Yeah. But like going back for this movie, we're like, god damn, it's such a trip. Because you see how hard, and like more I don't know, adult-ish Looney Tunes were compared to their Disney counterparts. Like,
right.
Like even Matthew Lillard being told by Shaggy, like, oh, I'm gonna cut you if you get me wrong in the second movie.
one more time. I was like, that is so fucking good. Because, I also did watch the Scooby-Doo movie. I was like, they're together. Because, like, if you loved Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like, if you love that whole cartoon world comes into our real world, but, like, you know, they're very real.
Yeah.
You know, they have vices. They are a little bit more adult. It's such a fun time. And this movie is that, taking that adult aspect a little bit out of, no, there was a lot of adult jokes here. What am I talking about?
Like Porky Pig.
It's not as bad. It's not as bad as Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like that one was like meant for adults.
Yeah. Like Porky Pig telling like Speedy Gonzales like, I need to stop stuttering because it's not politically correct, and then Gonzales like, what are you talking about? I need to stop. Why are you complaining?
Speedy Gonzales like, tell me about it. I'm like, oh no. Yeah, it's so fucking good. Like the side jokes, even like the Walmart product placement where they really phoned it in. Like, oh, is that a Mirage or is that a Walmart? And I'm saying, I don't know, but I'm willing to, spend on reasonable prices. I'm like, oh, okay.
But they gave us these drinks. You're like, sure. As a kid, like even now, I'm like, I'm not American. I wouldn't know what Walmart is. But like,
we don't have Walmart.
Yeah, we have Walmart.
Yeah, but they don't sell guns, so that's like a plus point on Walter Mart.
Yes. And yeah, again, there's nothing much to add other than like it's just it's a kids movie, but like outside and like inside is the harder edge of like these are Looney Tunes. like Bugs Bunny
Yeah.
being more popular than Daffy Duck, and they're being like, all right, Daffy, we have to let you go. So Notion, you're like, oh, okay,
Hmm.
and like that's obvious. Like
Yeah.
I've always found Daffy Duck to be the harder edge, Donald Duck too, because he's the more, I guess, vulgar about it.
Yeah, he really like hones it in where you're like, I know I am not the main star. Like I'm second fiddle to the main guy, which is the one with the ears.
Yeah,
So it'd be Mickey Mouse or what was it? Shit, Bugs Bunny. Fuck. Sorry, his name escaped me. By the way, Looney Tunes, y'all gotta stop with making like Bugs Bunny androgynous as fuck, because that's awakening a lot of furry people, and me for a bit. Because when he was like dressed up as Marilyn Monroe, I was like, I don't want to say it, but Bugs Bunny was hot in that scene.
and then the
But anyway,
and then him being told like, back in the day that was fine, but now it isn't. You're like, yes, you have a point.
yeah. But I do love it that like Daffy Duck kind of like puts out his foot. He wants to be a star of his own movie.
Yeah.
And wants to make it big, but gets fired in the process. But since they fired him, Bugs Bunny has no
Foil.
like he doesn't have his dynamic. Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't have his dynamic duo. So the whole rabbit season thing just doesn't work anymore. So you're like, rabbit season, bang. So it's funny in my opinion.
Yeah. Unlike Brendan Fraser is the perfect one to be in this movie. Like, he and Stephen Martin are like perfect examples of like, oh, Brendan Fraser is the perfect guy to cast, while Steve Martin is so out of place. You're like, even for a movie with cartoons, you are overacting to like the highest degree, and it's just weird for me.
For Steve Martin,
Yeah.
I agree, but he's always been like that. Like, especially
Yeah.
for Pink Panther. What was that? Like that soldier movie? I forgot where he was like a con man.
Like, The only
I need
movie
to watch that.
I really like him in is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, where he's playing the average guy, but in every other movie you're like, why are you a cartoon?
No, the man is a living cartoon. I will agree. Like, but I like him because you know what's the oddest thing is that this is the thing that kind of made the movie work, is that everybody in this movie felt like they enjoyed being in the movie.
Yeah.
They just had fun just doing whatever the fuck they wanted, or playing up the character as much as they wanted. Sadly, this movie didn't do so well, knowing how well everybody performed.
Yeah.
This movie like bombed in the box office. I was
Yeah.
like, that's such a shame, because this, in my opinion, is way better than Space Jam by a mile.
I haven't seen the first one in a hot minute, so I can't really compare. But I think that's what people were expecting. They're like expecting like another Space Jam, and then when they saw this one,
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, it's not like that." Okay.
No, because like Space Jam was like very product based. Like, yes, get the #1 basketball player to be in our movie, who is not really an actor. Oh, we put all of these product placements, like his new Jordans. It's just a very long commercial. That's what I think Space Jam was. Fun as it was, I'm not shitting on it. Like, it's still a fun movie. Fun as it was, Looney Tunes back in action was self-aware.
Yeah.
Like, sure, Space Jam gave us very sexy Lola Bunny, but Looney Tunes back in action gave us like self-aware. like it's a satire. They make fun of themselves. They make fun of, like, yeah, as he said with Porky Pig and Speedy Gonzales, they're talking about political correctness. The whole Walmart thing where they're talking about product placement, and it's just funny. I love that when, like, that's what Who Framed Roger Rabbit did.
Yeah.
Their jokes are a little bit smarter than just funny, haha, I can dunk.
Even Mickey Mouse had more of an edge when they're all falling and he's like, we're gonna die. Like,
Right? It's funny when you put a little bit of realism into a cartoon when you mix in, the two dimensions together where cartoons in our world.
yeah.
And like it's funny how the cartoons are part of Warner Bros. Where you get to see the Batmobile, you see everything that Warner Bros. Owns. And
Not just Warner Bros.
they're
But like even 20th Century Fox with the lightsaber, when Fox still had Star Wars. Like Bugs Bunny has the Kylo lightsaber before that was ever a thing. And like, oh, Bugs Bunny's a trend center apparently.
Kylo could never.
Yeah.
I forgot about that fight between him and the Martin the Martian. I forgot his name. Marvin the Martian.
Marvin the Martian. Did you know Brendan Fraser voiced the Tasmanian Devil? And this
Yeah. It's just a good time. The TVR. The TVR is the silver car that the spy car that they had that turns into a jet. It's a real car.
Forgot that Timothy
Horrible
Dalton
brand though.
was in this.
Yeah, as the dad.
Yeah. But yeah, this always has an edge of those old Cartoon Network commercials of them in real life, like them in the canteen or them just fucking around, or Cartoon Network was doing something else.
Yeah.
That's why Looney Tunes and Cartoon Network really went well together.
Yeah, I agree. I was a Cartoon Network boy the whole way. Nickelodeon was great, but I wanted more substance. I wanted my Dexter. And since Toonami was kind of connected to Cartoon Network, we also had Cowboy Bebop back in the day, Gundam Wing.
And the original stuff like Samurai Jack, which is really good. Or the original, the Tarkovsky Clone Wars too. The Clone Wars, where for the longest time we were Cartoon Network is the shit.
Yeah, and the Tarkovsky's Turok.
Yeah.
But that's more recent. That's more of a R18.
That's still pretty good though.
Yeah.
Justice League, and on Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah. Back to the movie. Yeah. There was a TVR. I love that thing. My friend had a toy of that. I always wanted it.
Yeah.
They go. Yeah, we're just going through it. What we feel now.
Yeah. There's not
Then
really
in
much.
Vegas, fun scene.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot. There's a lot to say. I love the jokes in the show.
There's not,
hit me.
There's not a lot of stakes in it.
Yeah. Fuck. What else was? Oh yeah, Brendan Fraser shitting on Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
That shit was so good. It was you know the Mummy movies. I was the one who's mostly in those scenes. Not him.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser's too much of a pussy to do those stunts. You're like, that's funny.
Yes, I was like, it's so good that Brendan Fraser is just shitting on himself. I love the self-awareness.
Yeah, that's why
And he does meet himself.
Yeah, that's why you get a guy
in the end of the movie.
like Brendan Fraser to do this role, because you know how much fun or how much character he brings into this movie. If it was anyone else, I doubt it would be as memorable.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What else is that? The giant robot dog at the end. I was like, I remember toys of those, the Japanese dogs that everybody wanted to have. If you couldn't have a dog, you're like, here, have a robot one.
Yeah, I think that was the joke. It was it's supposed to look like that. Fuck. I don't know, every skit that's Bugs Bunny's in is just so good. Where they're falling, right? The car runs out of gas and starts falling.
Yeah.
And Bugs is just screaming his head off. And takes a pause to put some this breath spray.
Yeah.
And continues screaming. I'm trying to remember all the fucking jokes here. There was the scream joke. The psycho joke.
Yeah.
where they ran into him while taking a shower, and then he pours like black ink to represent blood. Good one. This movie is the gold. People say it was horrible. I remember a lot of people saying it's horrible, but I was like, nope, it wasn't.
Yeah.
This shit was so fucking good.
I liked it. Porky Pig by the end. I mean, like every day, fuck it. Bye, everybody.
everybody, and like everything's closing down. He's just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but the main plot, the whole plot twist of this movie, yeah, like we thought Brendan Fraser was the main character here, where he had to like rescue his dad. They had to go to Paris and everything, and they fight the big bad guy in Tasmania. Oh, I forgot where they found the gold,
Africa,
the blue monkey. Somewhere in Africa.
Yeah.
They find the blue monkey, and there's this whole like plot of, oh, we make people into monkeys, making the product, and after they made the product, we turn them back into humans and sell it back to them. I was like, kind of works. That's a kind of a plot that kind of works. But by the end of it, we find out that, oh, this whole time they were making a movie, and they just didn't tell Daffy about it.
Yeah.
Because if they did, it would have not worked. If they told Daffy that he's in a movie, he would flub it. So they didn't tell him the whole time that they were making a movie. So I was like, what? Weirdest part is, the only time I recognized that plot twist was my rewatch of it for this review. I was like, that was the ending?
Yeah.
The whole fucking time that was the ending? Yeah, so fucking good. And I would love for them to, you know, bring it back.
Yeah.
This kind of way of doing cartoon with a mix of live action movies.
Oh, definitely. That's why I was so hopeful for Space Jam 2, but like apparently it's a piece of shit, so I didn't even bother.
No, it's trash. Yeah.
Have you seen
Absolute
it?
trash. Yes.
Oh, unfortunate. But yeah, I wish
Unfortunately.
Cartoon Network and Looney Tunes still had that edge that I do miss.
Yeah.
Like I never caught up with like the later Cartoon Network shows. Like I think I didn't even touch Adventure Time.
Adventure Time was good, but at one point you kind of just like, eh.
Yeah.
Oh, Amazing World of Gumball. Amazing. Chowder, really great. Flapjack, really fucking great.
It's a fucking Flapjack. No.
Yeah, but again, it's the ones where they're like, kids shouldn't be watching this.
You like this?
And that's what makes it great.
Wow. Like, what the fuck is that?
Homie, that is not the only freaky thing.
I know, but that's the thing in my mind always, because I was watching that episode late at night, and it's like, I can't hear, because my TV had a crappy sound system, like, I can't hear what's happening, then, well, I'm like, Foster's House for Imaginary Friends is pretty good.
Yeah, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, really good, yeah. No, they're... Oh, just Cartoon Network is just really good when it comes to picking shows, and sadly it's dead.
Yeah.
But it lives on somewhere in Hulu.
Did you, were you one of the kids who watched Powerpuff Girls in secret?
Yeah, no.
Out in the open.
I was very open, like, this is the shit. Like, say what you will, yes, it's the theme is Powerpuff Girls, and it's pink and whatever. By the way, pink's a great color. My favorite color. Like... Dude, the fight scenes in Powerpuff Girls is like fucking amazing. It's the same, yeah. It's the same animator who does Samurai Jack. So I'm like, what's wrong with that?
Right? Like I don't like what I like. Leave me alone. But
yeah.
But that whole era, I do wish it just kept it. I don't know why they changed it to be like, we need more audience. Like the audience is us. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. Well. Then again, you kind of have to get with the times to adapt and, you know, earn. So I get the decisions that they were making, but also I don't know if you knew. I heard somewhere like in the YouTube video where Warner Bros. Didn't want this movie to be made, so they advertised it horribly. This is why it failed in box office.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So like, I get it that somebody with the name of like Michael Jordan would sell more compared to somebody
Like Brendan Fraser.
like Brendan Fraser at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get it. They didn't want this movie to be made, but I would say it is one of the best movies Warner Bros. Has made.
But isn't that always the case? Like with the Snyder Cut, where like Warner Bros. Was like, you know, you don't want this, and you're like, we do want this, and then they see the money, and they're still for some reason like, no, we won't do this. Rick, for fuck's sake, you know what? I give up.
Warner Bros. Is that guy who's like, I know you like this. No, you don't. You do. I'm like, okay.
Do you want
And then
inconsequential Shazam 2 after you announce like nothing matters in this universe? You're like, no.
oh no.
It's out of digital.
That's the way.
So Monday we will do Shazam 2, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe not this year, because that's like I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense. Of like, hey, this universe is dead. You want to watch a product from that dead universe? Like, why?
I'm not even a big fan of the Shazam movies. I like Shazam as a character, just not the movies. Yeah, they tried to make it like a Spider-Man thing, but it didn't really work out. But yeah, like every time Warner Bros. Makes something that they don't like, something that they hate and just don't want to touch, they make the greatest things. But when they're like, we're so motivated about this thing and make it absolute trash of it, that's just executive like mindset, you know?
Yeah, like
what does the masses like? They're like, no, don't think about the masses. Stick to the source material, you idiots.
Yeah, like the mind-boggling decision to be like, we'll reboot Harry Potter as a series and each book is a season. You're like, why? Who's asking for this? But that's another rant for another day. But like, just the mind-boggling decisions of like, no more Snyder Cut, only Harry Potter. Like, I don't. Who runs this company?
Yeah.
Back to the glory days. What would you rate Looney Tunes back in action?
Man, yeah, this has cemented itself as one of my favorite movies when I was a child, and rewatching it made it even better, knowing the fact that I get the jokes that they're saying. So I will give this one a 9 out of 10. This is a really good movie. Hunt me down if you feel like, you know, this movie's absolute trash, but to me, it is one of the best, and is up there with Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And compared to like Space Jam, sorry buds, Space Jam's down here, Looney Tunes back in action up here. Gotta be more self-aware, jokes were better, and wasn't a gigantic commercial all on its own. Michael Jordan, what's up, you a GOAT, but I don't watch basketball.
Neither do I. I'll give this an 8. I really do like this movie. Watching this again was a trip, and like, just for the love of Looney Tunes, it's an 8 alone. And like, I haven't rewatched any of the Space Jams, and now I will definitely not watch number 2. But I haven't seen Space Jam 1 in a while, so I'll reserve judgment on that for another time. But for now, I really say this is one of the best, like, live action mixed with cartoon characters movie ever. And it's still one of my favorites. And Brendan Fraser proves to be one of the best actors. Like, it takes one hell of an actor to be like, you are interacting with cartoons, you have to give your best performance, and him being like, yeah, I'll give 110%. Like, good on you, man. That's why you're one of the best now.
Really? I forgot. That was one thing that they couldn't do, is that they couldn't interact with these two main characters, by the way. They couldn't see them.
Yeah.
So, as actors, they had to like really bring it up a notch, because you can't see the thing you're interacting with and what's giving you like lines and cues. I'm like, God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser and sorry, I forgot the name of this the other actress.
Yeah. And same with him and Bob Hoskins for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because he was acting, I guess, like just props and stuff, and he gave one hell of a performance there too.
Yeah. So yeah. Two great movies besides Space Jam. I have a vendetta against Space Jam.
Sorry. Other like late Cartoon Network shows I'm thinking of, like, were there any other like last glory rise. I like the only thing I can really think of is Rick and Morty for a bit, but even that I fell off from. Not because it's been bad quality, but just because the fans, or like the really crazy fans, are just annoying. So I was like, I don't want to watch it anymore. Yeah.
No, it's the mixture of the fans who are a little bit nihilistic and read a little bit of Nietzsche. Like the very philosophical fans, they're the worst ones.
Yeah.
You know, like I hate those ones when they watch Rick and Morty. But if I were to say a cartoon glory days, or like one of the last ones from the glory days, we don't know yet. There could be another cartoon that could be a really good one that we don't know about. But I will say, the one that mixes in self-awareness, CG, live action, and cartoons together is The Amazing World of Gumball. That shit is really good. To anyone who thinks it's just a cartoon, please, I really suggest watching it. Also, regular show. Regular show is amazing.
Yeah, then those come out at the same time that Avatar: The Last Airbender was going strong, so you know, had really two good choices for like Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network. Either one, you were winning either way. Were really good shows.
Yeah.
Because Avatar, we'll do a mosh bit of Avatar: The Last Airbender someday, because that show broke boundaries and like established itself as not just a really good cartoon show, but one of the best shows ever. And anyone who says, "Oh, it's just a cartoon," is out of their fucking mind.
Yeah. I would gladly rewatch the first the first Avatar
Yeah.
for review. Like all 5 seasons. 4?
4. I think it was max 4.
4 seasons. Yeah, because it's water, air, fire, whatever.
Yeah. That and Clone Wars, since Clone Wars is the Clone Wars is celebrating its 15th anniversary this year, so maybe near Ahsoka's release we'll do Rebels and Clone Wars, either one.
Alright, cool. Yeah, and since Rebels, since Ahsoka is introducing characters from Rebels, I have to take it upon myself to watch Rebels.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going on a tangent.
This is like borderline like mosh pit already. But yeah, what are your favorite cartoons from the early 2000s or like mid 2000s? Please comment down below. Let us know. If you want to see more of us, we're on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. We just hit 100 likes on TikTok, so thank you for that. We're also on Spotify. You can hear us on the go. Individually, you can find me at Gandalfus1995 on Twitter. How about you?
Oh, you can find me at JomGOM_ on Instagram. It is my red account.
And for our next lineup, we are going back to the 80s, so stay tuned for that special lineup. Bye, everybody. See you in the next one. Yeah, we are.
Oh.